A presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Brought to you, as always, by Central Bank of the Ozarks, Doak Propane, Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, live from the Pizza Ranch studio and presented by Great Southern Bank. We welcome now to the show, first time ever, the Licking head baseball coach, the Licking Wildcats head baseball coach, Harv Antle. And Coach Antle, thanks so much for your time today.
Thanks, Guy. Appreciate it. It's good to be on with you.
Coach, tremendous season, 25-6 on the season at this point. And to be honest, kind of got a little bit under my radar. But just kind of tell us a little bit about the season, compared to last year. What did you have to replace because of graduation? You were 17-5 a year ago, 25-6 this year. What pieces do you have to replace due to graduation coming into this season?
Well, we were in a good spot coming in as we returned 8 starters from a year ago. We only graduated 2 guys last year, one a full-time starter, the other a part-time starter. They were great kids. They worked hard. They were both 4-year program guys. But we had the core of our team intact coming back, including all of our pitching. And for the last 3 years, we've been knocking on that district door and got to the finals only to be denied. So coming into the season, we felt obviously goal number one was get back to that position. And this time, instead of knocking on the door, kicking it in and walking through and getting that done. So that was the goal. Obviously, easier said than done. And we've been blessed and we've been fortunate to make that happen and continue on that deep run into the playoffs.
Well, offensively, you've really got it rolling. Your basically your playoff games, you've outscored your opponents 38-5, including the 11-1 win over Stockton a day ago. Tell us about what you guys are doing really well right now.
Well, I think more than anything else, as we're a pretty veteran team, we have 3 seniors and we have 8 juniors on the club, and we've got a couple of sophomores that figure into the mix as well. But by and large, those juniors and seniors have a lot of experience under their belt at this point, and they've been very disciplined at the plate. We've been able to put together a game plan, and they've executed it, and they've taken quality at bats and been able to run deep counts on our opponents and foul off pitches when they needed to. They've done a good job of taking what the pitcher gives and hitting it where it's pitched, using the middle of the field, going to the opposite field when they need to, putting the ball in play, limiting strikeouts. And so I think more than anything else, patience and discipline has been a staple of our offense throughout our playoff run.
Coach, take us just kind of through your district game, your championship district game there with Houston, a 6-4 win, by far the closest game that you've had here in the playoffs. And anytime the on-deck hitter's tying run, maybe a little edge to it, but kind of take us through that game and how that outcome came about.
Yeah, that was something that we anticipated. It was the 3rd time this season that we played Houston. We played them early in the year in their tournament to open the season, had a midseason matchup with them and knew that the chances were good that we would see them again in the district. And the cliche is tough to beat the time 3 teams in a year. And it's a cliche because there's some truth to that. You're so familiar with them. They're so familiar with you. There's no secrets at that point. Houston, the district was at Houston. So home field advantage there. And we knew it would be tightly contested. And that's exactly what it was. In fact, they jumped us for a couple of runs in the first inning and played with the lead through 4 or 5 innings. We scratched a run, worked hard to get it tied, and then kind of broke it open in the 6th with 4 runs to go up 6-2. And so we go to the last inning and we get 2 outs pretty quickly, rather easily. And then we get 2 strikes on the next hitter. And, Cardinal fans will remember a World Series a few years back when the Cardinals were down to their final strike, and that didn't go so well for the Rangers. So that's always a scary time, and that's the beauty of baseball. It's never over till it's over. And we wind up walking a guy, and then we hit a guy, and then it's hit, and all of a sudden it's 6-4, tying runs are on base, go ahead, run at the plate. And then we were able to get a strikeout to finish the game. And just a huge sigh of relief there, because being able to get out of the district was something that was a long time coming in Licking. It had been 20 years since we'd won a district on the baseball side of things. And so obviously, unimaginable joy and celebration, excitement. But on the coaching side of things, I think it's more a sigh of relief than anything that, we survived. And that's the other cliche at this time of year, survive in advance. And that's what we felt like we did. But hats off to Coach Hall and the Houston Tigers. They gave us everything we wanted and more, and they made us earn it.
And Coach, again, we're visiting with Licking Wildcats head baseball coach Harv Antle. And Coach, tell us just a little bit about your background, where you went to high school, college, and how long you've been there at Licking.
Okay. High school, I was a Frisco League guy back in the day, back in the 80s. So I've been around the block a time or two. My dad was an Army officer and retired in the Crocker area. So that's where I finished my public schooling. And after that, I went to William Jewell up in the Kansas City area to play baseball. Got hurt my freshman year and transferred to Lincoln in Jeff City, still trying to play, but really undiagnosed shoulder injury. Looking back and knowing what I know now, probably a torn labrum. And so that was it for me as a player, and went on to finish up my degree at Drury, and later got my master's, and decided to go the teaching coaching route. Eventually, after messing around in radio and newspaper for a little while. So I got into the teaching game a little bit later than a lot. And this is my 28th year in education. And I've been at Licking for 7 years, and it's been a good time here at Licking. We came into a situation that was a little bit of a rebuild, but the kids were ready to be coached and had a good work ethic, and they've done everything we've asked, and we've steadily built from that moment forward. I have an outstanding assistant coach in Cole Roark, who handles our pitching for us, and we have a third guy, Chris Harris, who takes care of our outfielders and helps us with other aspects of the game. So I have a great staff that works very hard, and they are they're servant leaders, and they really try to meet the players' needs and give them what they need to have for development purposes and skill development. And so that's kind of where I'm at this point. And it's good to be walking in the footsteps of the legendary likes of Byron Hagler, who set the bar so high at Licking that nobody's ever going to reach that. But if we can get around and get a scratch or a sniff of it, we're happy to do that.
Outstanding, Coach. Well, congratulations on a tremendous season. Now, what do you know about Barstow? You take them on the 31st. You got a 1 p.m. game. What do you know about Barstow?
Not a whole lot. That's one of the things that we're doing this morning. We're starting to gather some intel on them, what they look like on the mound, what their lineup presents for us in the way of challenges, and all those little things that you like to know. Are they a short game team? Do they like to bunt? Do they hit and run? Are they aggressive on the bases? How's their catcher throw? What's their approach at the plate? So we've got some feelers out. That's the one thing that's helpful when you're an old dinosaur like me, is that you've made a lot of contacts over the years and you can reach out. And our Coaches Association is an outstanding organization. Guys are very helpful and willing to give information and scouting reports. Most of the time, gentlemen's agreement. It doesn't happen if it's a conference member or a friend, and we understand that. But you reap what you sow, and over the years, I've been able to help some guys with scouting reports, and so I'm seeing some of those favors returned at this point, and we're building the file, and we'll definitely have a game plan going into next Wednesday.
And what are your plans between now and then, and obviously being closer to Ozark? What's the bus situation like? Are you coming up the night before? Or are you going to come up early that morning?
We'll come up the day of, and right now, in the meantime, we're trying to reset their clocks. You know, we play late afternoons or early evenings through the front part of the schedule down even, you know, toward the back end. But that changes when you get to the Final Four, and we've got a 1 o'clock game on the Wednesday. So we've got a workout plan today for 1 o'clock. We'll get them in for some light work, just try to keep them regular and keep the guys together. We'll use tomorrow as an off day and let them get their holiday gatherings in and festive activities taken care of. We'll bring them back in on the Sunday at 2 in the afternoon for another light workout, probably just swing the bats a little bit that day to keep the rhythm and the timing. And then Monday, Tuesday, we'll be more conventional practices again at 1 in the afternoon, and then we'll load up Wednesday morning somewhere a little after 9 o'clock and head up to Ozark, get checked in, and hit the field and give them our best shot.
You bet. Well, again, visiting with Coach Harv Antle from Licking Wildcats, head baseball coach, and Coach, thanks so much for your time, especially on short notice here on the Missouri Sports Network.
Hey, I appreciate it, Guy. And thanks for the opportunity. And we hope to be visiting with you again soon in the near future.
Hey, you bet. Go get the biggest trophy, and we'll get you on next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You bet. Coach Harv Antle, we appreciate him joining us here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage.
Believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support for life. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters.
Enjoy a fresh start to your meal at Pizza Ranch, where the salad bar is always included with your buffet. Every day you'll find garden fresh greens, colorful veggies, and sides for every appetite. It's the most refreshing way to balance out a meal while leaving plenty of room for your other buffet favorites. Convenient, fast, and fresh. It's the Pizza Ranch Salad Bar. Mmm.